For better or for worse, this is the special meeting of Newport City Council called for 5 p.m. on Wednesday, July 2nd, starting the meeting at 5:07. Present are myself, Councilmember Carter Finnegan, Councilmember Andrew Touchette, Councilmember John Manette, Councilmember Kevin Charbonneau, Assistant Treasurer Stacy Therian, and we have council with us, Dave Rue from SPNF. And so, Dave, I'm going to depend on you because I've been collecting all this stuff last minute, but I think I've got it all together. And I copied your 3 points, your 3 motions that you're recommending, Dave.
Yep.
So folks have that on top. So let me just walk you through what everybody's looking at here so you know, okay? So we've got Dave Rue's 3, yes, go ahead, Kevin.
Was there an addition to approve the minutes of the last?
Oh my goodness, there's more than that. Thank you. Hold the phone, everybody. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Kevin.
Oh no, that email is sent out.
I've been to a meeting or two, and you know we do the minutes at the top, the minutes that is, and
Yes, good call. There are 2 additions that I need to make tonight because they are both timely and we really need to get them done. So, meeting's been called to order. I'm going to ask if anyone else has additions or deletions to add or delete besides me. Good answer. So, I'd like to add consideration of the minutes from the meeting we held on Friday, just last Friday, the 27th. That's so that we can approve them and get them to the bank because they would like to see them as a part of our final documentation there. So we'll add those, and you all have seen them, though they weren't in a public packet. I did distribute them earlier today. Okay? And then second, I'd like to add what I think is a special request from Magog Community Maritime for a liquor license. And I'm not positive it's necessary, but I'm trying to get it done before the holiday weekend. So I'd like to add those 2 things. May I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comment or concern? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries with great gratitude to President Charbonneau for reminding me of my own little life here. So let's take the minutes first. You all saw the minutes earlier today. I don't have hard copies here. Is that okay? Okay. Actually, I do have hard copies. Anybody need to see it? Okay. Do I have a motion for approval of the special council meeting minutes from June 27th?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. So Stacy, don't let me get out of the room without signing those, okay?
okay.
Thank you. All right, and then I'm going to hand this one out to you all because you haven't had a chance to look at it. It's a pretty straightforward application for liquor license from MCM for the Northern Star. Application type license, application category first class, application for first class boat license. But it's a DLL application. Maybe we're just licensing the... Anybody have any thoughts about what we're being asked to do here?
Sounds like it's licensing the bar on the boat.
Okay, because that's why it's a liquor license.
And it's a boat for the boat license.
And it's a boat. This much we know. Fair enough. I don't think there's any concern here, and I'm certainly prepared to receive a motion to pass it if that's your inclination.
All Northern Star on the bottom, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Kevin, I have a motion.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the application from Northern Star MCM. A second? I have a motion and a second. Any concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. All right, and that one passes. Great. Now we're back to, I apologize. I know my energy is a little manic. It's been quite a day of trying to organize all these pieces. So we're back, Dave, to you. And I have your 3 recommended motions that we'll come back to on the top of this packet. Then I have a term sheet from Passumpsic Bank, and it has, we saw something very similar to this, if not exactly this, on Friday. It has loan number 1, which is for $53,917 for the purchase of the Chevy Tahoe. We've already actually approved that loan. It has a loan number 2. City of Newport is the borrower for $2.725 million based on a cash flow certificate that we provided to Passumpsic. It has a loan number 3 for $1.8 million. The purpose of which is to finance the deficit created by miscalculation of tax rate 2018 to 25, among other things. Proceeds to be applied to the principal of the 2025-26 tax anticipation note that is listed just above this one. Loan number 4 for $1 million to repay general funds for water and sewer deficit. I'll note that what makes this slightly awkward is that Passumpsic Bank, in order to try and streamline things for us, has listed these 4 together and given us the conditions that they would require on all 4. But we're only actually acting on, we've already acted on the car, the loan for the cruiser. We're acting tonight on the $2.725 million line of credit in anticipation of tax income. And we are not yet in any way prepared to act on loans 3 or 4 because they will be considered in the special election that I hope we will warn Monday night. However, there is a place for our signatures, and I think the primary issue here is that Passumpsic wants to make the other conditions and covenants clear. And I'll just read those because we have not yet done that into the public record. So the conditions that Passumpsic has asked for and that I think are totally reasonable are that the city will maintain our operating general fund with the bank for the life of the loans, that there will be an opinion from city's legal counsel regarding our authority to borrow under proposed structure for loans 2, 3, and 4. That's everything except the car loan. And Dave can speak to this in a moment, but we've been working on that, and we're prepared to do that. That bank counsel will review the legal opinion of the city's council, which they have done, and there's been a little bit of back and forth to make sure everybody's happy. That the city will provide a quarterly balance sheet and statement of financial activities, which has been reviewed and approved by city council. So that will be something we have to come back to, and we'll ask Carter to put it on our spreadsheet so we don't miss it. That city will remain under contract for services with NEMRIC until significant deficiencies are not identified within the city audit. So for the time being, we're going to be dancing with Chip Stern, and with NEMRIC is actually the official contract partner there. That we will develop a 5-year projection for the water and sewer department prior to funding loan 4, the $1 million loan for the sewer deficit. That we will provide a certified copy of the council meeting minutes where the TAN LOC was approved. That's going to be tonight's minutes. We'll provide those tomorrow. That we'll provide a certified copy of the meeting minutes at which the city budget was approved. Stacy helped me to provide those today. They've already been turned over. That was the election, basically, on March 4th. That we will provide a certified copy of the meeting minutes at which the voters approved the borrowings for loans 3 and 4. That will be, hopefully, August 12th. That the city will agree to reimburse Passumpsic Savings Bank for all out-of-pocket expenses that we incur in documenting these the bank incurs in documenting these loans. That could include but not be limited to legal fees, including bank counsel for review and preparation of documents or any such customary and reasonable expenses as are normally and reasonably incurred in connection with the loan. And finally, any additional documentation that the bank may require in connection with the above loan request. If the requested information is not received, then the terms and conditions of this commitment letter are deemed null and void. Basically, we got to do what we say we're doing with all these other conditions. Am I correct? Actually, let's just go through the rest of the packet. We'll come back to this. Is that okay, Dave?
This one I swear I permitted, Rick, from my list, because I didn't know that they wanted the city to accept this. So, we can entertain a motion to accept the terms and conditions of the loan, we're calling this the loan term sheet, I guess, or the loan offer.
Yes.
From Pumsic Bank, subject to other requirements of the law, and just leave it at that. For example, we can't obviously do loans 3 and 4 unless the voters approve of them. So, I would just say we approve of the term sheet as offered by the Pumsic, is subject to the requirements of law, and leave it, and then you can sign it.
So
if the vote is approved.
Let's go ahead and do that one now, if that's okay. So do I have a motion to approve the term sheet provided by Pasumsic, giving us the terms and conditions of these loans, prepared and dated on June 26, 2025?
I'll make that motion.
And we should add Dave's language, subject to, say it again, Dave?
So just subject to provisions of Vermont law.
There we go, subject to provisions of Vermont law. Kevin, is that okay?
Yeah.
I have a motion.
Can I just say something?
I'm all right now.
She's got it on her tape recorder.
Yep.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second from Andrew. Any concerns or questions? Ann?
Yeah, I think maybe that's pretty broad in terms of what the bank may interpret that to mean, and that maybe it should be subject to the vote by the public to approve the loans 3 and 4.
It says that in the language here.
No, I'm
So
saying,
3 and 4
It's actually written in this document, that language.
will be required after vote of approval.
Yeah, I think that one's covered.
all right.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns from council? Everybody, for my benefit, just take a deep breath here so we don't rush our way through this, shall we? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The motion carries. Okay, then the next item in our packet is titled the Pasumsic Savings Bank Municipal Non-Revolving Line of Credit Note. And Dave, if I understand it correctly, this one actually is, I guess we vote on this tonight and take action, but the bank is actually also intending to prepare 2 loans, the documents for the final language for the 2 loans tomorrow, and send them to each of us for us to DocuSign. One for the police cruiser, and one for this line of credit for 2.725 million.
That's correct.
So we do need to act on this tonight, right, Dave?
Yes, that's correct. You need to, this is one of the 3 motions I suggest. This note can be approved by one of the 3 motions I suggested. I think what the council should do is actually do the resolution and tax certificate first, and then do the note.
Okay, so we'll come back to this one. Okay, everybody?
Yes.
And this,
And correct that while we are approving the form of this today, tomorrow you'll get an email from the bank asking for councilors to sign it by DocuSign.
and I'll just note that you have seen something pretty darn close to this. I think you've seen this basically in preparation for this meeting. So the next item, Dave, I'm going to ask you to explain, please, the City of Newport, Vermont tax certificate current expense borrowing for the non-revolving line of credit.
Sure. This is essentially a certification by the treasurer and city council that you are going to follow the rules so that the note will remain a tax exempt obligation of the city, and that you will abide by the rules for tax exempt borrowing, and that you will use the note for the purposes for which you have represented you are taking it out, i.e. to pay current expenses and nothing else. So for example, because the city is a municipality, it is tax exempt. It is allowed to borrow on a tax exempt basis, and provided that none of the money goes to what are known as private activities. And so since all of this money is going to be used by the city to pay current expenses, it will remain a tax exempt obligation. And so this certificate essentially cuts out that we hereby agree to use the money properly and that it will remain a tax exempt.
Any questions for legal counsel on this matter? So you would recommend then, Dave, that we go ahead and act on this one right now, yes?
Correct, yes.
And
For
this
the
is-
motion I suggested
So
earlier.
on your front page, item number 2 is the proposed language that Dave has given us to pass this particular resolution, and I would entertain a motion if someone would make it.
I would make that motion that we move that the city council approve the tax certificate for the third expense borrowing related to the city's borrowing of 2.725 million from the subject bank, and that authorized Mayor Rick Upper Chase and clerk treasurer Jim Johnson to execute the tax certificate.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, I have a second. In fact, I've got lots of seconds. Take your pick, John or Carter. Stacy for the second, however you want to do it. I have a motion and a second. Does council have any questions about our action on this one?
Just backing up one step. If sequence is important, should we be approving the resolution first before the tax certificate?
It's okay to proceed this way. You can continue.
Okay. Lori?
I have a question, and I'm not sure that this is the right place to ask it, so
If it's not related directly to this motion, it's
well,
not.
it is because of the language, current expenses, and I'm trying to remember from Friday's meeting what we're paying back the Walmart funds with. Is that,
Current expenses include an obligation to the money that we used from the Walmart fund.
okay.
But they do not include any payment of previous loan.
Right.
Right,
That's
that's-
right. Okay. Thank
Did I
you.
speak? Did I say that correctly, Dave?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Thank
need
you
to
for the
know.
question.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Then I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Hearing none, the motion passes. And so, Stacy, tomorrow I'm hoping you're going to help me keep straight what we sign when and where, because we'll have to get Jim to come in, and he and I will both have to sign that one. Okay?
Good. I was wondering whether Jim was in the city or not.
Yeah,
while he was on.
he was silly enough to take a week of vacation but not leave town, so we'll get him tomorrow. All
I
right.
made that mistake tomorrow too.
All right, the next item then is titled City of Newport Resolution Current Expense Borrowing, and I'm going to ask Dave Rue to let us know what's going on with that one too.
So in connection, and I'll pull it up here, in connection with incurring indebtedness, there are certain prerequisites that or conditions that need to exist. For example, that the city does not have sufficient funds to pay its current expenses, so it needs to borrow money to do so. That is what this resolution says, and that it has approved the tax certificate and commitment letter, and that we will approve the note and deliver the tax form 8038G. This resolution also basically supports your, what's the right word? I would say legitimacy to, as the city council and being the city's representatives and elected officials. So, for example, paragraph 1 on page 1 states that you are the council and that you have the authority to issue this note to pay current expenses as long as the payment on the note is due before the end of this fiscal year under the charter, and that all discussions about this note had previously are ratified and confirmed, and that the city has the authority to borrow this money to pay current expenses.
Okay, any questions for legal counsel?
This, my name's spelled wrong here, the last name.
We didn't get that one fixed?
No, none of them got fixed. It's spelled
Wait,
correctly. Yeah. So
You
I
have two names or one name?
just got one. My great grandpa dropped it. I don't know why. But
No, the one I'm looking at, the version of the resolution I'm looking at here that came from Ellen in PDF, Rick, does have Carter's name spelled correctly.
well, that's good. That it's right somewhere. And because I know we noted that.
Yeah, you know what I would say? The problem is, I've made so many copies this afternoon trying to figure out what copy goes where that I've lost
Yeah.
track. So I think what I would recommend today, Carter, is that you
Yeah.
just cross one out
Yep.
and sign your name.
Happy to do
And,
that.
and when we get all done, we'll use my copy and we'll just pause before we close the meeting and have everybody sign the ones we're supposed to be signing, okay? So we get one copy with all the signatures on it.
And my understanding too, I think, is that we're gonna have a DocuSign version tomorrow, so hopefully I imagine that's going to have your name spelled correctly on it as well.
I've been assured, I actually talked with Ellen today, it should be fixed tomorrow.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion on the floor on this one yet? No, we don't. So I need someone to move item number 1 on your front page.
I so move.
So could you just read that into the record, please, John?
I'm sorry. I move that the city council adopt and approve the resolution current expense borrowing for the city's borrowing of $2.725 million from Pasumsic Bank to pay current expenses.
Great, I have a motion. Do I have a second? I've got a second from Andrew. Any other questions or concerns from the community? Any questions or concerns from council? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Hearing none, that motion passes. So now, we want to go back to the item, it was actually the third item in your packet, titled Pasumsic Savings Bank Municipal Non-Revolving Line of Credit Note. And so this, we all sign this tonight? We're going to sign again tomorrow with DocuSign, or we don't need to tonight?
I think you just sign it tomorrow with DocuSign. We don't need, we just need to make the motion. This just needs to be approved. This is the actual promissory note by which the city borrows $2.725 million to pay current expenses. It is, the version you will have tomorrow will show that it is due. This one does say this. It'll be due and payable on June 30th, 2026 within the current fiscal year as allowed by the city's charter.
We got that? And I'll just note, that's at 5.24% interest, which is better than I expected. Best I think we're going to do, so. Okay, somebody want to read that motion that Dave has proposed for us? Item number 3.
I move that the city approve the promissory note to Pasumsic Bank to borrow $2.725 million at a percentage rate of 5.24% interest, and to pay the current expenses of the city, which is payable on June 30th, 2026, and to authorize Mayor Rick Upford Chase and Clerk Treasurer Jim Johnson to execute the promissory note and any related loan documents needed to close on the borrowing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions that people would like to ask? We've been talking about this one for weeks now, so. Everybody okay? Okay, then I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Hearing none, the motion passes. Dave, anything else on your mind tonight?
The only thing on my mind tonight is that for the meeting on Monday, I will have a number of similar resolutions like what you saw tonight ready to go. I hope to have those first thing Monday morning for everybody to look at.
Okay, so I will be putting a packet together for Monday night's meeting that with all the information I've got, it'll be a pretty full agenda Monday night. You should expect a relatively long meeting. And then I will add anything that I get from Dave Monday morning so you can look at it ahead of time.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a resolution for each of the 4 borrowing articles that will go before the voters, stating the necessity for each. And then the other thing is, Stacy, can you send me the minutes first thing tomorrow morning from tonight's meeting?
Yes.
Via email?
Yes.
Then I can review that and get my opinion letter issued as soon as possible.
Okay. Dave, is it okay if we close this meeting and then we all sign this document, or do I have to keep the meeting open to sign it?
No, you can close and sign. I think it's probably better just to sign it while you're there.
Okay.
And then close the meeting because you approved everything.
Okay, then we'll release you, and
Thank you.
I'm gonna, looks like I'll sign first. Anybody have a pen? Thank you. So, first thing we're signing is the terms and conditions. Actually, let's just pass it up and down, shall we?
Sure. Keep consistent.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you're going to put in terms and conditions, the resolution, tax certificate, and then the note.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep. Thank you, Dave. We'll let you go.
All right, I'll be in touch tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Stacy, could you please send a note to Jim tonight and ask him if he could drop by tomorrow morning to sign these documents for us? All right, the next thing we're going to sign is, we're going to skip the actual revolving line of credit note because we're going to get that tomorrow. So the next thing we're signing is the tax certificate. Oh, it looks like I'm the only one who has to sign that one. So I'm just going to sign that. And then Jim will sign it tomorrow. And then the next one is the City of Newport Resolution, Current Expense Borrowing, and that one we do all need to sign. Thanks for the pen.
It's a good cut. Yes.
Do you have the minutes for Friday?
Yes, I can sign those for you too.
I'm not sure if you have them or not.
I have a copy right here. Yeah, look for you. Okay, and I think that's it in this packet, right? Nothing else. Yeah, and tomorrow Jim is going to sign this special information return for tax-exempt governmental bonds too, Stacy, that's in this packet. Okay? All right. Any other, let's see, we got any new business? Any old business? Next regular council meeting has been declared at least 3 times. I think we don't need to declare it again. I'll see you Monday night at 6. And I would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion, a second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That ends our meeting.